What's poppin'? Hey guys, welcome on in to the power rankings for LT. Turn that down just a tad. As I have said in the NatDex video, if you haven't watched it, I would highly suggest you go watch that. It is in the playlist. But we have power rankings here for LT. But yeah, as I said, we decided to, mod team and I came to a decision to start the season before Champions released. This was before we knew Champions release date. We talked about this on the day of the Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day, which was just about a month ago. And now, we did run into a slight issue, and that was Nintendo being Nintendo and shadow dropping the release date. They knew we knew it was coming in April. A lot of people thought it was coming in late April, which I did as well. But nope, we found out about a week ago. Well, about 6 days ago, that Champions was being released on April 8th. So we allowed some new megas for LT, and I woke up one day and I checked Showdown the day after the starter trios got their abilities revealed, and Showdown had already updated them. So we had to find a solution, and luckily we did. We are using a custom server that still has the base abilities for the megas. So we are saved. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, all it is that, look, make your team a regular Showdown, transfer it to the custom server, play the game on the custom server, download the replay, upload it as a file to the replay channel. It's not that hard. It takes a few extra steps. But anyway, power ranking considerations. Go over this again if you haven't watched the NatDex video. It's the same list. Pure outright power, momentum, hazard/hazard control, speed tiers. Speed tiers are asterisked because it is low tier. Speed is very limited in low tier. One second. Had a coughing fit, sorry. Yeah, speed is very limited in low tiers, so if you didn't pick up your speed early, you kind of struggle for speed towards the end of your draft. General/overall team synergy, support synergies, valuable terror captains, and defensive/offensive cores. This division was harder to rank than NatDex. NatDex, I knew my clear top 3, and I knew my clear bottom 3 straight away, looking at the teams. But I am lowering this again. I am sorry. It is blasting into my ears. I thought it was fine. I tested it before. I did a test recording just before. It sounded alright, but it's a different volume in my headset compared to what you guys are hearing. So but yeah, this was a lot harder to rank. I ummed and ahed about who was the bottom team for about 5 minutes. There was no clear bottom team. And there was no clear top team either. There was like a top, 3, in my opinion. But it was just who got that first place was iffy. But without further ado, power rankings do not matter. It is for fun. I'm by myself again today. Is what it is. You get to hear my voice for the next hour-ish. Womp womp. But yeah. You could be 16th, but you could win the whole thing. It's just for a little bit of fun. And also got hounded by you guys by saying, wins PRs, wins PRs, wins PRs, wins PRs. Just sound like a bloody parrot on my shoulder. Here's PRs. Alright? You motherfuckers. Anyways. In last place we have Sagex. And I do apologize. But like I said, I'm denied about this for 5 minutes. Let's go over the positives for your team. Right, you grabbed the fastest one in the format, Regieleki. Very good. Regieleki is better in loaded than it is in regular net decks because a lot of good grounds are gone. Right, you don't have to deal with Gliscors, you don't have to deal with Great Tusks, Iron Treads. You don't have to deal with that. The best ground type in the format is... we allowed was Nidoking. Nah, spoilers. I have that. I think it's Nidoking. Defensively, the best ground type in the format is... that we allowed... is Nidoqueen, Clodsire. You still have to deal with a fair bit of grounds. Like, there's still a fair bit of grounds you have to deal with, but it's not as bad as regular nat decks. I do like your screen support for Mega Crab. I feel like after Mega Crab, your first 3 picks are support for Mega Crab, which is very, very good. And then I just feel like it fell off, right? You're heavily relying on Regieleki to be a special attacker here. On paper, you can bring Carmine Vaporeon, and Archeops does have 112 special attack, which is unironic, which is funny enough. The highest special attack stat mon you have, without abilities coming into play. Which is very funny. But Archeops is Archeops and it has Defeatist, right? That's an issue. You do have Bush Pass. Archeops prefers to run no item for those acrobatics, so you can lead it. You have Dunsparce, you have Glare Spam. It's just... you have 2 Wish Pivots. You have Volbeat. I feel like this team is heavily going to rely on Mega Crab and Regieleki to do things. Like, you have sets that you can run on the Dunsparce, Vaporeon, Archeops. Hey, there's even a Simisear here, which is better in low tier, you know? 98 speed, 98 attack, 101 sorry. 98 attack, 98 attack, and 101 speed. It's nothing to scoff at in low tier. But it's just, it feels like if Mega Crab goes down, you're gonna struggle. You have to heavily rely on your support pieces to keep Mega Crab up. And mind you, your only hazards for Mega Crab are rocks. I would like to see a Spiker, because Mega Crab would like Chip. I do have Trick Room as well, with Uxie. It's the same thing. Uxie, Trick Room, U-turn into Mega Crab. You have 3 turns to go ham. So you do have options. Someone had to be last, and unfortunately your Terra Captains, your Hazards, and if Mega Crab goes down, or if Archeops goes below 50%, I struggle to see how you win games. and this is on paper, as I said, you can run offensive to Dunsparce, you can run offensive Vaporeon, you can do this, but on paper, what I'm looking at, if those two, even Regieleki, if they go down early, one of them goes down early, you're going to struggle in games. 15th, we have good old Grandma Cannibal. I'm so happy someone picked up Entei. I'm so happy. I was this close to picking it. Because Entei is my second favorite Pokemon of all time. I love Entei. If you can guess my first. I'm gonna stop now. But yeah, I'm glad someone picked up Entei. Entei is very good. Bad at Sacred Fires, bad at E-Speeds. Not a lot's taking that. You also picked up one of the best eaters from Bad at Sacred Fire and Gastrodon. Let's talk about Mega Malamar. Mega Malamar is one of the only Megas that got to keep a good base ability and Contrary. As you can see, Mega Malamar is 102 attack, superpower. Superpower is the main thing, but then you get to click knockoff, you get to click rest. I'm very excited to see how Grandma uses Mega Malamar. Terra Ampipom. I don't know why we didn't make this max points. What do we make it? Do we make it close to max points at least? Oh, we did make it max points. Why am I tripping? Oh, I'm thinking of base Ampipom, aren't I? Yeah, base Ampipom 7. Yeah, so Terra Ampipom's 10. This is one of the best Terra Mons allowed. Technician, Terra Normal, Fake Out, Double Edge, Terra Ice Triple Axle, you have Tail Slap, you can go Skill Link. Like, this thing is very, very good, especially in low tier. Then you have Killer Watchel, another one I was thinking about picking up. I ultimately didn't because of points. And then you have Hisuian Zoroark. Another one of the best ones in the format is a 20.1. This thing hits like a truck. It is fast. It can disguise itself as other mons. You can trick your opponents. Do be wary of, if you face this and you notice a Copperaja or a Gastrodon or a Lilligant that take 12% from rocks instead of 6, you know that's Zoroark. You're welcome. Reason because is that those 3 mons, their typings, they resist rock, which means they only take 6% usually. But if you see them take 12, that's a Zoroark. You are welcome. But then let's go into the negatives. You haven't seen by now, Grandma's only piece of removal does? Hold on, I have to check this now. Does this thing not get defog? That's crazy. Is defog Hisuian Lilligant. Hazard stack is very, very prominent against you and very, very bad. Which means you are forced to run boots a lot. This is a very big downfall for this team. Not only that, you also have... Theoretically, you have 1 rocker. And why do I say 1? That's because Gastrodon does not like to run rocks or spikes. 9 times out of 10, it is running Scold, Recover, Toxic, and then probably Ice Move. If you don't need Ice Move that week, you can run a Hazard slot. Copperaja is going to be your main rocker, but Gastrodon, like, its 5th move is usually Hazards. This team just struggles. Like, it's going to break very well is going to be a very, very super offensive team. It is going to heavily rely on Gastrodon as the backbone for this team. If Gastrodon goes down early, Grandma needs to kick things into gear and win within the next 10 turns. Because I struggle to see, when Gastrodon goes down, how Grandma goes against the stall team. There's a bulky offense, I should say. But why is Grandma better than Sagix? The team is more. Personally, I like the team more. The Terra Captain choice and Ampipom outshines both of these Terra Captains. But I feel like Gastrodon and Terra Shiinotic are gonna come every week with this team. Or like AV Copperaja. But yeah. Ultimately, I like this team more, even though your removal was bad. I just like the offensive options more. I feel like if you two swapped a few mons, traded a few mons, you guys would shoot up. Because Sagix needs a little more offensive power, you need a little more defensive power. Up next we have John Paul. Now you may be wondering why there is the Diggersby team at 14. I'll tell you why. I don't like this team. I personally do not. The only rock is Bastiodon. Terra Bastiodon is a menace. I love this thing a lot. Terra Coolfish. It's good. It's okay. I haven't really seen this thing Terra, but I know Overcruel Terra is good. So this Terra has Eviolite, so I expect it to be good. But then we get into a few bait mons. We get into Espathra, and we get into Comfrey. These things without Terra suck. That's coming from someone who likes Comfrey a lot. You don't get the coverage that you need with Comfrey to go for sweeps. If you're just planning on sweeping with just Comfrey without any other help. If you're going for a Comfrey sweep, you have to plan your team around that Comfrey sweep. And kill the things that stop it. Espathra is a fraud. In a Pursuit legal format, in a world where AV exists on a dark type, you click Knock, you click Pursuit, you click Sucker Punch. This thing is a fraud. Do not think it's good at all. Comfrey, can this team kill the things that it needs to kill? Kind of. With Diggersby, yes. You kill your grounds, you kill the steals. Yep, the grounds. You kill the poisons, you kill the steals. Yep. If Diggersby goes down, how do you do that? Terra fighting Bastiodon. Fighting move from Electivire. Super fighting it down with Crobat. Pranks the Destiny Bond with... Like, there's so many ums and ahs with this team about how you kill stuff to allow your other mons to go up and down. I also don't like how your ground resist is Appleton, which is cool. I like Appleton a lot. Is Appleton coming every week? No. Which means you kind of have to bring Crobat every week. But Crobat can come every week. So, but that means you're only switching 2 grounds is Crobat every week. Theoretically. If you don't bring Appleton. Yeah, I don't know. This team just kind of like... The more I go into it, the more I don't like it. I feel like this is kind of just your favorite mons thrown together, and they just don't work. in my opinion. However, Diggersby will be claiming lives this season. Don't get me wrong. This thing is huge power. This thing is going to go ham. But other than that, I feel like you're going to heavily struggle against grounds. Because grounds get rock coverage, and if they predict that Crobat switching and you lose Crobat, you kind of just lose. And also your only water immune resist is Appleton too, and there's some scary waters out there. So you get points for your hazard game. Other than best, you get points for your spikes game. You get points for your pivot. You get points for your speed tiers. You get points for having a huge power Diggersby and Crobat, support Crobat. Other than that, and Terabastion. Other than that, this team is kind of just in my opinion. Up next, we have Migzu. Speaking about bulky offense. Okay. Wow. My mouse. Before Migzu drafted the rest here, from Jolteon onwards, we saw Migzu drop Moltres, Overcool, Quagsire, Tinkerton, and we're just like, fuck, he's going stall. He's going full stall. We were expecting Blissey. We were expecting like Mega Steelix, like full bulky stall team. Then we see Jolteon, then we see Mega Pidgeot, then we see Dhelmise, then we see Beartic. We see where the offenses come from. Migzu decided very, don't get me wrong, it was very smart how Migzu decided to do this. Migzu grabbed the bulk first and then grabbed the offense later. And also Terra Driplin. I glaze this mon. I love this mon. This mon is great with Terra. As I said in that next video, I've killed Ubers with this thing. But, let's get into the negatives. The thing that I like about what you did is also the thing I dislike. Right? Because you spent a lot of your points on your bulk and Mega Pidgeot, it kind of left you with, hey, I need to go pick up some offensive mons down the bottom here. You know? Dhelmise, cool, yep. Terra Driplin, it's just a nuisance. It still hits hard because 95 Spatak. Jolteon, yep. Your physical offense is kind of where I'm like iffy on, because Dhelmise, yes, Overcool's gonna kind of be forced into a physical offensive role most weeks, or Tinkerton is one of the two. I say Overcool because of that base 115 attack stat, and Beartic is not coming every week. So it's the same premise as I think Abyss had in Natdex, where if you lose Overquill, how do you beat the defense? How do you beat their specially defensive walls? You know, because that's what Overquill's for, is to beat the specially defensive walls, so then your special attackers can beat the physical offensive walls. You know, vice versa. I don't know, I feel like this team is going to struggle a lot physically, struggle a lot offensively, and it's going to heavily rely on Jolteon Mega Pidgeot every week. Or Dhelmise Mega Pidgeot. It's going to rely on two mons to be offense, and you're going to bring 4 out of the 5 defensive mons each week. That's kind of just where my head's at. It's a good team, however, like I said, this division was a lot harder to rank, and some people just had to go towards the bottom. Up next we have Film Up. Film Up. Film Up has buffed Grigas, because Grigas now has Parting Shot, I believe. Once again, we fall into the trap of picking up Toadscruel. I think this one is so fake. I think this one is not real. And I think it's definitely better in low tier. Am I gonna respect it? No. But I will admit it does do better on low tier. Let's go with the positives. We see Gyarados, which is the thing that I wanted to ban. But then got re-added onto the dock. Not by me. So we have Gyarados. Granted, there is a argument for it that a lot of things get electric coverage, can't Terra, so, but Scarf Boxy Gyarados is gonna come running around. With the amount of teams that only have one rocker that can't come every week, you know, at the moment. We have Mega Manectric. We have Banded Slacking, right? Thing I really like about this team is that you have two really good Parting Shot users. You have a Prankster Parting Shot user, and you have a slow Parting Shot user. I better not be lying here. I'm pretty sure Grigas gets Parting Shot. Let's have a cheeky gander. Grigas. Parting Shot. Yep, Grigas says Parting Shot. So, I really like how you have two Parting Shot users. You have two... See, I want to say you have two very good Terra Captains. I'm going to say you have one. And that one is Malamar. I think Terra Malamar is very good. Terra Fighting Superpower with Resto Chisto, you know. The same thing about Mega Malamar, but this thing can Terra out of its shit typing. Now, why is Swoobat not a good Terra Captain on this team? You have no way to abuse Simple without having a move to set up terrain. Now, let's say if Toadscruel turns into Thwackey and Octillery turns into another different ground, this team instantly shoots up. A ground that can learn Stealth Rock, by the way, because only Stealth Rock is Berserker. I think this team instantly shoots up because you just run Simple, Grassy Seed on Swoobat, and you click Carmine once, you're already up, +2 defense, +2 Spatak, +2 Spadef, and you're already a stored power sweeper in one turn. If Thwackey is still up, I would be grabbing Thwackey over... Is Thwackey still up? Thwackey is still up. I would be changing a few of these ones around to be grabbing Thwackey and fixing up some of this team. In my personal opinion, if it was me, I drop this, I drop Toadscruel, I drop Berserker, I drop Charizard, and I drop Octillery. I grab Thwackey, a different steel and a different ground, and I go to 10 mons. Arguably even 9 if Steelix is available, because Steelix just fixes this team up. You do not need a fire type. If you want a fire type, cool. I don't think this team needs one when you have... it depends on your ground, actually. But, yeah, like I said, if Steelix is still up, I'd be grabbing Steelix for this team. How much should we put Steelix at? Steelix is 12. But yeah, this team has a lot of potential. It has a very good threats, but it has a lot of potential that you kind of just wasted by picking up a few mons here and there. Couple switches, this team skyrockets. Basica. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm breaking the fourth wall. It is currently 12:14 AM on the 1st of April. April Fools, motherfuckers. Haha, this is not the power rankings. This is me just shit talking a random list. Nah, I'm kidding. Basica. Basica lied to me. Basica straight up lied to me. He begged me. He begged me to allow Terragaz Lord. Before the season started, he begged me to allow Terragaz Lord. And he goes, if you allow Terragaz Lord, I will round 1 pick it. What does this motherfucker do? Picks it round 5. That's alongside their best guy. That's for you for lying to me. And lying to everyone. Because now everyone knows you lied. I'm kidding. But yeah, man, this team just feels And when I say I mean we're now getting to the point where in the rankings where I'm going purely based off 5s for like the next 6 picks. Teams are very similar. I feel like, and I was talking to Besk about it. I feel like Barrascuda is wasted here. I do feel like Barrascuda is wasted. Wasted points. I personally don't think you need the physical offense. Nah. It's either that or it's Pormont. One of the two needs to go. Because, like, you have Guzzlord. It's phase 101 attack. You'll bring Guzzlord every week, pretty much. And what the fuck is this cat doing here? Honestly, like, what is Perugly doing here? I'd be dropping Perugly. But your hazard game's very good. But Basica. Your hazard game is good, but your only removal is defog. It's like, I like teams that have a lot of options for hazards, but then I see their removal and their only removal is defog. I'm like, so you're either running boots or you're playing into hazards, or you're just not bringing hazards at all. So it's just like, what are we doing? I'd be grabbing a spinner over Barrascuda and Perugly. Your pivot's okay, your pivot's kinda lackluster, especially on a team that wants to be pivoting into Armouge, into Rose Raid, into Guzzlord. And also your electric doesn't resist flying, so Mega Pidgeot kinda just shits on you. If you go up against a Mega Pidgeot team, or I think there's a Tornadus running around. So like I said, I like your offensive core. I like your especially offensive core. I think your physically offensive core needs a bit of work in, say, dropping one of them and picking up a bit more utility as in a spinner and a couple more momentum mons. I say this, and 4 out of the 9 of your mons can pivot, but you're not bringing Perugly. You know? Perugly's not a real mon. So, yeah. Up next we have Bunker. Bunker. What the fuck are you doing with your hazards? I'm going straight in. Your only rocket is Flygon. And that's because I think Bunker got sniped on Magnezone. So he spite sniped Terra Magneton, not knowing that he sniped it from me. Because I was planning on picking it up in the very next round. He spite sniped Terra Magneton to prove to the guy who took Magnezone that Bunker's gonna beat their ass. But the type chart's looking mighty fine. But yeah, your only hazards being rocks. Your removal is good. Pick up the Mighty Lax. I feel like your offense is pretty good too. I think offensively, you're going to heavily rely on Scarf Flygon most weeks. And Snorlax. Physically, offensively. You can run... Oh my god. Actually, no. I lie. I'm looking at this now. There are sets you can run, because I'm looking at Victory Bell's offensive stats. They're pretty good. I lied. But your hazard game is atrocious. Your pivot game... Yeah. It's there. I feel like this is a team that has no wow factor to me. But I think the way you've crafted your defensive core in Snorlax, in Togekiss, in Incineroar, and Rotom, I really like those four, especially where you can parting shot with Incin, you can parting shot with Rotom now as well, parting shot with Impidimp. I better see this Impidimp come to a game. Bunker. Hold on. Dying. Oh, I got a message on the Discord. Oh, okay, sorry. Back into thought. Got a message. That person can wait. They know who they are. I'm recording. So yeah, this team has no wow factor to me. I think this team will do well. This team kind of wants those hazards, so Flygon can get kills, Snorlax can get kills. Starmie's gonna be a menace. In low tier. Especially because it gets Meteor Beam. Like, the fuck? But yeah. Hopefully Bunker can do well with this team. I don't know what I would personally change. Oh yeah, wait. Why the fuck do you have Magneton and Rotom on the same team? Bunker. I'll drop one of those two. But, yeah. Up next we have Nate. Speaking of Tornadus, I knew it was coming up. This was a team I originally had near the bottom. And it's because at first glance I'm like, I see Empoleon, I see Florges, I see a Claydol, I see a potential AV Crabominable as defensive cores, and I'm just like, well, 2 of these you can bring every week. Technically 3 if you want to bring AV Crab. But then I see an Iron Leaves, I see a Mega Raichu, and I'm like, why are these 2 here? Pincurchin. This team legit jumps because of Pinkerton. Now, why do you say that? Electric Surge, Quark Drive Iron Leaves, and a Mega Raichu Y that has 135 attack and Electric Drain. That gets Surf, Water, and Grass coverage as well for grounds. The defensive pairing of Empoleon Florges is going to be hard to break already. And then not only do you have to prep for that, you also have to prep for Electric Terrain Iron Leaves, a Prankster Tornadus, a Mega Raichu Y, a Scarfed Hisuian Typhlosion Eruption, and sorry, you also have Prankster Lipard, you have a Terra Crab, you have a Terra Grovyle. The team has a lot going on that you have to prep for, that you have to consider. But why is it this low? It comes down to the team relies a lot on Electric Terrain. It does. It does heavily rely on Electric Terrain. Yes, you can run Booster Speed, Tornado, Iron Leaves. Yes, you can run Mega Raichu Y outside of Electric Terrain. The team kind of just wants Electric Terrain though, because then you get to run Banded Iron Leaves. You get to run a a Resist Berry for Iron Leaves, so you get to live a hit and click SD, you know. Yeah, the Terra Captains are good. It just, and Nate knows where I'm coming from. It's that I can't rank this team any higher because the wow factor on the team is also the bad factor on the team, and that's you're either bringing Pinkerton and Iron Leaves and Mega Raichu, or you're bringing Tornadoes. Like, you know, the team has just a lot going on and a lot to unpack. Up next we have Cloud, and there is a big issue with Cloud's team. So, there is a reason a start date is a start date. We set a start date for a reason, and that is so that we can go over the docs fully and tiers. We closed sign-ups, I think, 4 days early or something, because we had reached our goal of 3 full divisions where we didn't have anyone playing multiple divisions. I just want to thank you guys for that. That, like, seeing that has actually made me really happy about where me and my mod team have been able to bring KDA to where it is today. Having 3 full divisions where no one has to play in 2 divisions makes me really happy. I did not think we would get this far. I made this league out of as a fun league between friends. But yeah, so we got spammed with saying SDN, start draft now, start draft now. When are we gonna start draft? Can we start now? Can we start now? Can we start now? And I'm just like, no, start date's the start date. And then there was even, I think, I could be wrong here, I think some people on the mod team was like, but what if we start it on the weekend? Because people will be around on the weekend and people won't be at work if we start it on a Monday, you know? I'm just like, this will require help from you guys to do tiers and such, which a lot of people didn't want to do because they're not good at tiering. So I had to go through and I had to tier pretty much by myself. And I could be wrong. Once again, I could be wrong. And I swear I took Mega Gardevoir off of the tiers. Will I go back through the version history? No. I swear I put Mega Gardevoir off of the tiers. Because I took Gyarados off of the tiers. And I know that for a fact. Mega Gardevoir, I'm like 90% sure I took off the tiers. And then someone added Gyarados back in. Oh, sorry. I finished the tearing at about 2 AM my time, and I'm just like, I pinged every mod. I'm like, hey guys, I finished the initial tearing for low tier. Can you guys go over it and adjust anything you feel is off and talk about it? You can adjust it while I'm asleep. I do not care. I need to go to sleep. And Mega Gardevoir got brought up in that conversation, and for some reason they did not change that. I just contradicted myself. So obviously I did put Mega Gardevoir within the tiers. I'm stupid. So Mega Gardevoir being in the tiers is on me. But granted, I did this at 2 AM my time, and I asked my mod team to look over it. They talked about Mega Gardevoir, and no one changed it. I did not read over it until it was too late. Right? Then I got asked by Cloud, hey, is Mega Gardevoir legal? I'm just like, yeah. Is it on the dock? He goes, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, because I was at work. I did not have time to look over the dock. Little did I know, regular Gardevoir was at 19. Mega Gardevoir was at 15. So, I blame everyone that said that annoyed the fuck out of us to make us start early because of mistakes like this happen. So now we have to deal with Mega Gardevoir throughout the whole season. And it is too late now. So Cloud got a Mega Gardevoir for 4 points cheaper than regular Gardevoir. Is what it is. And now let's get into Cloud's team, because I just spent 5 minutes ranting about that. We have Mega Gardevoir, we have Noivern, we have Terra, Hisuian, Everlog, and we have Blastoise, and that's where it stops for me. I genuinely, that's where it stops. I see 5, potentially 6 mons. 6 mons I truly respect, and some mons I semi-respect. Your only real hazards are rocks from Torterra. Your pivoting kinda sucks. You do have Baton Pass and Umbreon, you do have Parting Shot and Revroom, so it's a little bit, you know, but that requires you to run Parting Shot and Baton Pass. You have 2 Shell Smashers, so people have to respect that. You have a lot of setup mons on your team, but I kind of it's just a lot of mons just thrown together. It's kind of like a couple of the other teams where I feel like the team is not synergistic. It's good, but it's not synergistic enough for me to pull it upwards. Terra Pyro, I think Pyro got buffs, if I remember correctly. Got like Earth Power. Pyro, did we get Earth Power? Yeah, we got Earth Power. So yeah, so you get the Terra Pyro buffs. You get Pyro buffs. So, but I don't know why Machoke's here. I don't know why Haunter's here. I honestly don't know why. Torterra's here. Well, I do know why Torterra's here, because you need a ground resist. But I would do a couple trades. In my opinion. But knowing Cloud, he'll stick with what he's got, or he'll go, I hate this team, he's going to drop 5 mons, pick up 5 mons within 2 weeks. So, we'll see how this goes. Once again, it's hard because I have to go off of what team do I like better, and this team is just falling smack bang in the middle. Big Gardevoir is going to claim lives. Up next we have this man, the myth, the legend, that I can't really go too much in depth about his plan, because I know his plan, and what he plans on doing, so I'm not going to. I'm going to go over what I think, over what I can go over, and that is, hey look, here's a Mega Tatsugiri. Let's draft 2 really good defensive balls that eat up the only weakness it has in Arcanine and Klefki, and Fairies. Not only that, he has buffed Photon and Parting Shot and Parabolic Charge. You have a Staraptor that clicks Reckless Brave Birds. You have a Terra Floatzel that clicks Banded Terra Water Wave Crashes. Like, I feel like you kind of just you can bring any mon, because Terramon Phonos, or you also have to respect because of Iron Fist. The issue I have with this team, and Project knows it, is that the defensive core is really heavily relying on Arcanine Klefki. This team is full out offense, pretty much, and this is a, hey, let's win in 15-20 turns or we lose team, pretty much every week. Can't really go too much more in depth about Project's team, because kind of know what Project plans on doing this season. But yeah, also that ground weakness, kind of iffy because you have Magnetized Klefki, so. But yeah, hopefully Mega Tatsugiri does well. I'm hoping it does. But yeah, the Hazard game kind of iffy as well. But yeah, Prankster Klefki. Prankster Klefki is going to be a nuisance this season. Up next we have Garrett, or Lukey. Sorry, Lukey, as known as Garrett. I don't know why Mega Eel wasn't higher in points, because I kind of let Versace tier the new Megas, because he helped tier the WPF low tier dock, and he adjusted the Mega prices. But Mega Electros with Levitate, kind of good, no? Right? Because no weakness. You have Zydog, you have Talonflame, you have Fortress. Project is still molding, by the way, about Fortress. Garrett really likes his Deancey. I'm still molding over Jellicent, because I got hard sniped in Jellicent. Man, I see your first 6 is very good. I see a Terracacturn, and I see a Chansey. I don't know what Xatu is doing here. What does Xatu offer this team? I'm not seeing Magic Bounce. A 95 speed tier. I don't know, hopefully Terra Xatu can do something. Electabuzz, Terra Electabuzz and low tier very good. Toxicroak, think he just picked it up for the fighting and poison. Yeah. I feel like Electrox is kind of forced into being your special attacker each week. With this team. I would have liked to see a specially attacking poison type over Toxicroak with this team. but let's go into positives. Hazard game on point, removal very good, momentum very good. There's just a few mons here that I kind of just... They can work, it just depends how you use them. The biggest one here is this bird right here. Let's have a cheeky gander right now about what this does. You get to click foul play, you get to click defog, click roost, get screens, you get T-Wave, Oh, it's a wish user, okay. Trick room, what are you trick rooming? Diancie? Tailwind support. So it has, I can see how it goes. Do we get Terra Blast? No. Okay. Do you get a bit of coverage though? So we'll see how Garrett uses it. I still don't like these two here. And then there's a Chansey, because for some reason we needed more bulk as well. I think this team is bulky enough as it is with these three. I don't think you need Chansey as well. Actually, yeah, I would be dropping these three and picking up other things. Oh hey, it's Cyclone. I was umming and ahhing about Cyclone's placement. This is the other one. I was umming and ahhing if Cyclone goes 4th or 5th. Cyclone has buff Rotom Heat, has Swampert, has Gardevoir, has Terra Duraludon, Mega Absol, Terra Fion with Take Heart. This team is very well constructed, right? You have the physical offense of Gardevoir, of Mega Absol, of a Rotom Heat that can heal. It's from Parabolic Charge of a Pain Split now. You can run my favorite set with Swampert, which is Banded Pert. Defensively, you have AV Serena, you can have Heatom, you can have Duraludon, you can have Fion in a way. But then we get into the holes. There are two big holes in this team. Your fighting resist is Gardevoir and that's it. There's a few good fighting types running around low tier this season. And you are kind of forced to run a defensive Terra. One of your Terramons. And you are... Because Gardevoir's not taking a banded close combat or an adamant close combat, you know. Or you're kind of forced to wisp it. And your hazards. Your only hazards are rocks. In a team with Mega Absol, and a team with Perch, a team with Gardevoir, you want as much chip as possible, and you want spikes. Your removal is good with Heatom and Serena. With the Heatom's buffs, you kind of don't want to be running Defog now. You kind of want to be running Parting Shot instead. So you want to be running Rapid Spin on Serena each week, otherwise you lose the hazard stack. So, I will see. You have 7 out of your 9 mons can click knockoff, which is pretty cool though. Ultimately, those are the two reasons why Cyclone is 5th and not 4th. Because I do think Cyclone's Terra Captains are better than mine. I do heavily think Cyclone's Terra Captains are better than mine. So, let's go over my team quickly. Yeah, Cyclone's Terra Captain's better than mine. I got hard sniped on Jellicent. Jellicent was supposed to be on this team. but got hard sniped. So I spent the next probably 2-3 hours afterwards crafting how I do the rest of my team, because I had drafted these first 6 months, and I'm just like, what do I do? Because the rest of this draft determines if I pick up Orthworm or not. I settled on these 5. Would I prefer Jellicent? Yes. But, hey. We rock with what we got. I still think I built a pretty good team with what I have. But yeah, let's go over it. We have Nidoking, one of the best ones in the format. And this is why I didn't pick up Intakes, I picked up Mega Imbor. I wanted to try Mega Imbor, wanted to try a new Mega. Imbor kind of just fit the team. I kind of just went off, hey, let's just grab 2 powerhouses first and build around them. Right, so we got the specially offensive Nidoking with Sheer Force, Life Orb stuff, Scorch Scarf, and then we have Mega Imbor for the physical offense, base 148 attack. No, I'm just like, cool. I need good grass. Both of these want to lose the water. Let's pick up Celebi. I was umming and ahhing between Celebi, I think Celebi, Tangrowth, and Shaman. I decided on Celebi because I hadn't used Celebi before. Celebi gives me rocks, gives me pivot. Base 100 across the board is really good in low tier. It means I can kind of just do whatever I want with Celebi. I picked up arguably the best spinner on the board in Cyclizar. Because I knew with Nidoking and Imbor I wanted webs. And there were fairies were going off the board fast, so I picked up Slurpuff for webs. And then I was umming and ahhing about my Terra Captain. And Rasachi was like, bro, you should just grab... He was like, grab Terra Magneton. Then Terra Magneton got sniped, and we were both... I think he suggested you should grab Terra Pikachu. And then, because I didn't realize we made Terra Pikachu legal. Good luck. That's all I'm saying. This thing will run rampant. I will make it run rampant. Good luck when you verse this thing. And then I had a glaring ground weakness. You see Nidoking, Imbor. Those who lose the ground, Pikachu is going to die no matter what. We just make sure we're fast and we click moves. And priority with Pikachu. So my first 2 months lost the ground, so picked up Earth Eater, Orthworm, which is very good. Also gave me Spikes. Once again, Spikes very important. Gets things in range for me to kill things with my first 3. And then because Jellicent got sniped, I had to pivot to Dusknoir, Terra Prinplup. I did want to ghost with this team with the amount of hazards I have and be able to keep webs up. I decided to go with Dusknoir because Dusknoir is a bulky-ish, not bulky-ish, it is a bulky, it's a bulky dark type that can still hit hard, has Pain Split, has utility, can help us out. Terra Prinplup gives us rocks, gives us another defogger, it gives us flip turn, it can Eviolite Mon, it clicks Scold and Roost, and then I needed Dark type, and we left Wallaby down at one point, so I picked up Wallaby and I picked up Cutiefly. Wallaby is like a 3.3, 4 point Mon, Foul Play, Toxic, Roost, Defog, U-Turn. It does one thing and it does one thing very well, and it's very annoying to take down. And then Cutiefly, it's another Webber, it can click Moonblast, it's fast, so it's like, I feel like my first 7 are very good, and how I pivoted after the hard snipe on Jellicent, I think I worked around it. But yeah, I couldn't put myself first. I don't think I am first. I think I'm fourth. Up next we have my week 1 opponent. It is Owner versus Mod. Crook versus Petro. What gives Petro the edge over my team? As you can see, my hazard game is better than Petro's. My removal game, arguably better than Petro's. What gives Petro the edge over me? Well, my friends, that is his Terror Captains. His Terror Captains, the way he's built around Mega Meganium. He's got Cobalion to eat poison hits. He's got Dragalge and Seismitoad to eat fire and even more poison hits and steel hits. You have Darmanitan to kill those steels, Seismitoad to kill those grounds. He fully built around Mega Meganium and I love it. I see Petro has this bloody Drifloon. I'm not losing to this thing, Petro, I refuse. When we first started talking, I'm like, have we versed before? And he goes, yeah, a few times. And I remember, I specifically remember 2 times. The first time I bet Petro with the Terra Drifloon, the second time he bet me in VGC last season. So there could be a third. But I refuse to lose Terra Drifloon. Nuh-uh, not happening. But yeah, I feel like it's going to come down to Terra Persian. Effectively will beat Terra Pikachu because it is faster. Terra normal fake out Silk Scarf. And Terra Morpeko. His Terra Captains synergize. He's got 2 offensive Terra Captains. I have 1 defensive, 1 offensive. But they do work well. His pivot is very, very good too. To pivot into the mons he needs to. I'm going to struggle this week 1. I'm going to heavily struggle with it. How will I beat him? I don't know, that's a problem for me in the weekend build. But I think Petro has a slight edge over me. Up next we have Alucard. Egotistical Alucard. You might be asking, why do I have Alucard here at 2 when I've been hounding on about people's hazard games? Well, he has a Hatterene for Magic Bounce, number 1. Number 2, hazards are not everything. They're not everything. I may have seemed like I have made them out to be, but hazards are one of the main things I am looking at. 1. Alucard team synergizes better than the other 13 teams. 14 teams that we've looked at before. He has his only rocket is a reliable one in Miltank. He has Mega Glycopod. He has arguably the best Terra Captain on the board that we allowed, next to Ampipom, I think. And Graplock, because Graplock got buffs out the wazoo. It got Mach Punch, got Bullet Punch, it got Circle Throw, I think. Yeah. Spoilers for week 1. Alucard has played his game and this Graplock went in. I can't say who won. Save that for another time. If you know, you know. But back to this. Volcanion, hard hitter, right? Glisspod, Graplock, hard hitters, Hatterene, bulky, annoying with Nuzzle, Magic Bounce, Calm Mind. You have Electros, which gets coverage. You get Zoroark, which can disguise itself. You have Miltank, which is annoying with Toxic, Milk Drink. Sceptile, fast, unburdened sweeper. You have Golbat that can click Super Fang. The team synergizes a lot better. I like it a lot more. And Terra Strike is nothing to laugh at either. If anything, your only mon that's not taking 12% from rocks is grab locked on switching. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, Mega Glazing has emergency exit. So if you don't Mega it before... Yeah, if you don't Mega it before rocks get up, Mega Glazing instantly takes 25%. That's the other thing. But overall, I really like this team. It synergizes a lot well. No spinner, but you have two really good defoggers. Number 1, we have Tylenol. We let Tylenol get 2 of the best 20 pointers on the board. Not only that, we then allowed him to get 3 a disgusting trio defensive core in Tentacle, Ronsong, and Gligar. His hazard game is very good. Your removal is very good because Tentacle's coming every week. You know, you do have Wish Pass with Wigglytuff, base 140 HP wishes. You have a Terra Alolan Raichu, a Terra Dusclops. Dusclops is going to be annoying as hell to take down. You also just have a Sharpedo here. I generally think this is the best team in the division. And honestly, if it wasn't for... If he only had 2 out of 3 of his defensive core trio, or if he didn't have a Wish Passer, it would go down. But he has, and it's number 1. I like everything about this team. The type chart's kind of fake. Your speed tier's kind of iffy. But you also just have a Mega Sceptile base 145 speed. So... I am a big fan of this team. I like it a lot. Not a lot of negative things to say about it. But yeah, that is it. I'm sorry if I fell off a little bit towards the end here. With how I've been talking about teams. It's currently almost 1 AM for me, 12:57 in the morning, so I am tired, but this is the only time I got to record this. So, you get to deal with tired Crook for the last, like, 4 or 5 teams. Oh well. But yeah, until next time guys, stay safe, be yourself, and peace.